From Bill Burr shutting down agenda-driven reporters.
A lot of people
took it that way. So could you clarify what you think?
No, I'm not going to just have some controversial moment so you can get clicks. I'm not doing that.
To Andrew Schultz demolishing Bill Maher's little games.
Live comfortably.
You could live with yourself knowing that that's how women are treated in your world.
I hate this moral argument, like we give a about women around the world.
Here are 8 times comedians shut down woke interviewers and hosts.
Reaction to Luigi Mangione. I was reading up, that perhaps you've been supportive of what he did. What is your take on that?
We all know Bill Burr doesn't hold back when it comes to sharing his opinions or shutting down anyone who's pushing an agenda. So when a reporter tried to squeeze some headline-worthy sound bites out of him, Bill had just the perfect response.
Eating up, I don't think you read up on it. Because I said what I felt about it, and I said what a lot of people said.
Some people took it that way. So could you clarify?
No.
Yikes, Bill. You really don't give anyone a chance, do you? But honestly, that's exactly why we love you.
No, I'm not going to just have some controversial moment so you can get clicks. I'm not doing that. I'm here for Conan. I'm not doing all of this. What are you going to bring up next?
Come on, lady. He's a comedian, not a news anchor. Why are you grilling him about serious current affairs?
I went to summer school 3 out of 4 years in high school. I'm not qualified to talk about this.
Honestly, the way Bill handled that was nothing short of brilliant. But the problem about the modern day world is, they're too concerned about political correctness, and not to offend anyone. But just like Burr, Bill Hicks had the perfect response to that nonsense.
Yeah, I mean in America, anyway.
Occasionally there are some members of the audience who don't find it funny, and therefore they paid money, therefore they get upset, yeah. What am I supposed to do when half the people are going, that was great, and the other half are going?
During a 1992 BBC Two interview, the host couldn't resist bringing up the old offending people question. But Bill Hicks, calm as ever, didn't flinch, didn't fumble. He lit that question on fire and walked through the smoke without breaking a sweat.
Is it my job to go into their lives and try and please them? I actually had a woman say, "Why can't you do things that appeal to everyone?" That's impossible. What a burden. No one's done that yet. That will be a challenge. I will please all people.
Still not convinced, the BBC interviewer kept digging, as if Bill hadn't already turned her question to ash. She tried again, asking if maybe, just maybe, there was a middle ground.
I got, someone made a comment at the club going, "We don't come to comedy to think." Gee, where do you go to think? I'll meet you there. We don't have to do this here.
Isn't there a sort of halfway between?
But my way is halfway between. I mean, this is a nightclub.
Are they, though? People getting offended at jokes? Adults? Nah.
What do you expect? What you're going to see on TV? No, this isn't TV live. And also, it's my show.
Yes.
What am I supposed to do? Change my own outlook and my beliefs to be what to them?
Honestly, whatever this man's saying is pure gold, so listen up. It might just be a much-needed lesson for all you delicate feelings holders out there.
I try to talk to the audience the same way I talk to my friends, to take away the artifice of show business and actually have a feeling of a conversation going on. If some of the audience gets offended, then they're saying to me, "I don't want to be your friend."
It's ironic, isn't it? Wokeness started as a push for freedom and expression, but somewhere along the line it morphed into silencing anything that might offend someone. And no show wears that irony better than The View. But here comes Shane Gillis, knocking them down with brutal honesty.
Alright. You don't have to do that. It was fine. I didn't write it.
During his 2025 ESPYs monologue, where Shane pushed boundaries with jokes, some of the audience members weren't too happy. In response, Shane dropped a simple joke. I didn't write it. That didn't sit well with The View hosts, especially Joy Behar.
Defense against tyranny and all of this, you can't squelch the comedians. Don't do it. It's a mistake because they will go after you. But one thing he did that I didn't like, and that was he said, I didn't write that joke. Never do that. Johnny Carson was on the air for, 100 years. Never once did he say the writer wrote that bad joke that I just bombed with.
And if you watch...
That's bad form.
Yep. Clearly experts in everything comedy, the hosts took it upon themselves to critique Shane's word choices.
Couldn't figure out, like it's hit and miss. It's a little like you're looking between your eyes. He uses that line like, I didn't write it, that was a bad joke.
That's a mistake.
As if the disapproval wasn't enough, they went on to give a complete lecture and compare him with other comedians. I mean, ma'am, everyone has their own style.
Dave Chappelle can deliver things that I feel dirty laughing at. Like he is so, but he's in charge. Like he's literally in charge. What I felt about Shane, and every time I watch him, is I can feel his nerves. He has tics that say like, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah, over and over. It's like in a speech.
Now, surprisingly, not everybody on the set was agreeing with these two women.
I thought that was funny, and he actually
you have to
fun
know
at Aaron Rodgers
the story
too.
in order to get that joke.
I think
I think everybody knows about the Epstein story.
Everybody never
Shane-
make that assumption. The
Shane
audience
Gillis
doesn't
is-
read what you read.
But if we know Shane, he's not the type to flinch at insults, especially not from The View. And sure enough, he had the best simple response.
Which brings me to the next point, dude. The View.
I wish I was watching The View. I know we're having fun right now.
I just wish John
I was
Hamm
watching The View so that I could understand comedy the way Joy Behar does.
Burn. That Joy would be fuming after seeing this.
You know, hilarious comedian Joy Behar? What was that one joke she told that everyone likes? Never once, ever? But no, I get it. They didn't like it. It wasn't for them. If they liked it, I would have been like, oh, that sucked.
Pure, effortless sarcasm.
That would have been weird.
You are Whoopi, dude.
It's literally not for the ladies of The View. Like, literally.
It's specifically designed for them to go, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
For someone named Joy, she sure knows how to suck the joy out of everything. Good thing Shane gave her a much-needed comedy lesson. However, try this nonsense in front of Bill Burr and unleash his wrath.
How women praise each other all the time for being mothers, and they say being a mother is the hardest job out there.
Most difficult job, Oprah said that.
Oprah said that, yeah. Has your opinion on that phrase changed at all since you've had a kid?
No.
During a promotional interview, the host tossed Bill Burr one of those woke favorite lines by Oprah Winfrey. Motherhood is the most difficult job on earth. And asked if his views changed after becoming a dad. Burr, never one to play along with scripted virtue, didn't miss a beat.
It's not the most difficult job on the planet. It just isn't. Dude, I did roofing in July. As a redhead, I almost died.
Careful now, Bill. You're risking offending nearly 2 billion women worldwide. PTA warriors, Insta-momfluencers, and, of course, Oprah.
There's people that work on like oil. What was that movie that guy made? The Oil
Horizon, yeah.
Those guys were working on an oil rig. The thing blows up. They're on fire. They got to jump into water that's on fire. Salty water into their wounds. You got to swim out of that oil and fire and then tread water.
Gotta love that awkward tension from the women in the crowd, while Bill's up there not giving a single damn.
That the Coast Guard is going to get there before the sharks do. Now talk to me about a toddler. Oh, he was so fussy today. He wouldn't eat his peas.
Well, when you put it like that, it does sound more difficult, Bill.
Annoying as a kid is, like, they smile at you and it's over. It's over. So, I mean, you don't get that, working on an oil rig when your buddy's greasy face lights up. You're like, you know what? It really is all worth it.
Uncomfortably raw, but that's what makes it so brutally hilarious. Next up, we've got Tim Dillon dishing out a hot, fresh slice of reality pie to this host who tried to get God knows what out of this interview.
Rogan moved to Austin, opened a comedy club there, and now all these comedians have moved to Austin to be part of that world.
Yeah.
Like, how does that work? Like, what is that like?
I think it's like any type of clubhouse that you...
During this CNN interview, Tim Dillon was suddenly bombarded with questions about Joe Rogan and whether podcasters like him have become the new cultural establishment.
To perform and to, there's a lot of comedy fans that go. So he's cultivated a lot of people that want to come, and he's made it kind of a destination for people that want to see comedy.
Tim Dillon handled it smoothly. But what he might have missed was that Ellie Reeve wasn't really interested in his views on the new clubhouse. She was baiting him into validating a bigger narrative that Joe Rogan has turned into a symbol of anti-woke rebellion.
Is it a particular kind of comedy?
I think in some cases, yes.
Like, is
right?
it anti-woke or?
There you have it. The mask finally falls off.
You're far less likely to find that type. Like, the word woke is kind of a boring word, but like, I think you're absolutely more likely to find the type of comedy that Joe likes at his comedy club, which is like kind of edgy, no holds barred, in the sense that, like, you know, they're not policing, anybody can say anything.
And isn't that the whole point of comedy?
As long as there's a good faith effort to make it funny. So I think that there are people that believe, and they're well within their rights to believe this, that there are topics and words that are off limits. And I don't think Joe feels that way. I think he feels that, like, the people that come into the club, if they have a good faith effort to make a topic funny or an idea funny, that they should be allowed the space to do that.
Tim Dillon played it smart. He didn't take the bait, didn't drop any controversial sound bites, and absolutely refused to be boxed into a for or against narrative.
This is that you're far less likely to see certain topics talked about in a funny way because people just don't, they believe that they're off the table.
But Elle wasn't done. She needed juice. But what Tim gave her was far better than that.
And like, what's your relationship with Rogan? Like, you've been on his show.
He's my father.
Well, you've been on his show.
We've never talked about it, and it's because I'm overweight.
Man, Tim, sarcasm, spot on. While this interview was a slightly better version, there are hosts who just can't help but vomit their woke views all over the place, pushing guests into corners. Just like Krishnan Guru Murthy. But Ayawati? Oh, he taught him a lesson he won't forget.
Here, so if you were asking yourself a question now, what would it be?
I mean, couldn't you get anyone else to come? Perhaps that would be the question. I mean, in a way, the book's a comic book about film, really. It's not a deconstruction of the idea of interviews, particularly. Hopefully, it's a container for jokes that is themed around film.
British comedian and actor Richard Ayawati came to Channel 4 News to promote his book, Cool, Calm, and Collected. But sitting across from him, Krishnan Guru Murthy, a man who treats every interview like a boxing match.
You know what happens now, in that normally in an interview like this, I ask you a few questions about your book.
Yes.
Because that's what you're trying to sell.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to promote your book because of broadcasting rules.
Of course.
So I then ask you something serious.
Yes.
Now, the serious thing I'd like to ask,
which I will parry.
Right from the get-go, Murthy drops in, throwing jabs right off the bat. The only thing he wants is headlines.
I wonder, do you feel a very strong sense of being a role model for British Norwegians?
I do, and I feel that Norway as a nation looks to me and my activities in many ways to marshal any kind of policies that they can drum up, and have been doing so for a while. In fact, they're starting to send me the Christmas tree.
Murthy's known for being aggressive, and today's no exception. But Richard, he's not rattled. Not even close.
But do you think there should be more British Norwegians on British television?
I think there should be more Norwegians. You can't move for Norwegians in this city, and I, for one, think it must be stopped.
You can almost see Murthy twitch when Richard gives him absolutely nothing to chew on. And that silence is loud.
Dislike interviews, it's a bit more like, it's like commuting. I accept it as a part of this, but no one, loves it with all, but it's fine.
I get that, but give me something in return. I mean, because the other part of you is, well, look.
That was not a good chat-up line.
Murthy, just shut up, will you? Please? But nah, Krishnan keeps pressing, hoping for a spark, a soundbite, anything. But Richard just sits there, quietly dismantling him without lifting a finger.
You are a rarity.
I'm 10 a penny.
In the entertainment industry right now.
I'm not in the entertainment industry. I don't entertain people, and no industry can be built on my nasal voice.
But you are, and you are young, Cambridge educated.
72.
Some guests play along with this kind of theatrics. Not Richard. He's been in too many of these to fall for it now.
Educated, black, British.
Sure.
And that's quite a rare subset.
Yes, it's a hell of a medical form.
But you're not going there, while there's this massive campaign.
Where should I be going?
Well, no, what I mean is, Lenny Henry and David Harewood and all those people who
I know who
other
they
black
are.
people in the entertainment industry.
And here it comes, the typical gotcha question. The one meant to make headlines. But will Richard fall prey to it? Nope.
I've been pushing this big campaign about diversity in television.
Yes.
And you're not going to go there as a subject.
How do you mean go there as a subject?
Well, do you
go there as a subject?
I do personally.
Where are
yes.
you? Where are
I
you
think
on
there
it?
should be more, but now you're interviewing me. And,
well, that's interesting.
And that's it. The moment Richard decides enough is enough and delivers a shutdown so smooth it should be bottled and sold.
What was interesting, I thought, about your interview with Tarantino, apart from, the notorious nature of the kind of I'm shutting you down, was the bit when he said, this is an advert for my movie.
Exactly.
That was the interesting bit, and that, to me, was the elephant in the room.
In other words, the interview where Tarantino kicked your ass, Murthy.
Pushed through and tried to get him to talk about violence, which he wasn't going to do. But he was outraged that he could not advertise his film. And that, I thought, was very interesting, and is interesting about the essential lie of the interview situation.
And you're sort of doing the same thing tonight, but...
In a way, yeah.
But Richard, thank you very much indeed for coming.
Don't thank me, I've done nothing for you.
Maybe this interview will finally serve Murthy a wake-up call. And as this commenter perfectly summed it up, Richard Ayoade walked off without standing up, dropped the mic without holding one, and made Krishnan sweat without turning the heat up. That man is classy and wise beyond belief. Touché, bud, you nailed it. But will Krishnan finally learn his lesson? Not likely. Just like Richard, Ricky Gervais also set the record straight.
Wait, remember, they're just jokes. We're all gonna die soon, and there's no sequel.
While hosting the Golden Globes, Ricky Gervais unleashed comedic hell on not just hosts, actors, and show organizers in the audience, but the entire woke Hollywood. And let's just say people were offended.
Many talented people of color were snubbed in major categories. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that. The Hollywood foreign press are all very, very racist. So, 5th time. So.
Ricky Gervais didn't just make a joke, he dropped a bomb. He hit them with the raw truth, and somehow, he still wasn't finished.
We were going to do an in memoriam this year, but when I saw the list of people that had died, it wasn't diverse enough. No.
From there, it became clear. Ricky wasn't just hosting. He was holding up a mirror to the entire industry, and they did not like what they saw.
It was mostly white people, and I thought, nah. Not on my watch. So maybe next year. Let's see what happens.
Some people were confused. Was he joking or making a statement? But for a lot of viewers, that honestly hit home.
Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself. Just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up. I know he's your friend, but I don't care. You had to make your own way here in your own plane, didn't you?
Boom.
Apple roared into the TV game with a morning show. A superb drama, yeah. A superb drama about the importance of dignity and doing the right thing, made by a company that runs sweatshops in China.
Then he turned his focus to Apple. Their show, The Morning Show, is all about ethics and transparency. So Ricky asked the obvious question. Is Apple actually living by the same standards?
Oh, well, you say you're woke, but the companies you work for, I mean, unbelievable. Apple, Amazon, Disney. If ISIS started a streaming service, you'd call your agent, wouldn't you?
Ricky's takedown of Hollywood's hypocrisy is totally justified, because even the loudest voices against woke culture often get uncomfortable when certain customs or worldviews don't align with their own. Just like Bill Maher.
They're the closest ally in the Middle East because they're the only country in the entire Middle East that anyone in this country, these hypocrites, would even survive for a week in. You wouldn't want to live.
I don't know if that's true anymore.
For someone who loves calling out others for being too woke, Bill Maher can be pretty hypocritical when it comes to practices he personally disagrees with. But during a podcast, Andrew Schultz shut him down in the best way.
Into
The
Abu
UAE
Dhabi.
is not the Muslim world. If you're talking about
But they're in the
Dubai-
Middle East. That's what you're talking about.
Okay, but you're talking about a tiny, tiny percentage of what typical life is like. You would not want to live even in a moderate country like Jordan, and your wife certainly wouldn't enjoy living there.
Here's the thing. Bill Maher loves to call out woke culture for being too judgmental or one-dimensional. But isn't he doing the same here?
I think, matter of fact, I would even argue that life is more relatable to the average American in the UAE or in Dubai than it is in...
Again, but it's a disingenuous argument.
Why is it disingenuous?
Because I just told you.
You said you can't live there, and I was like, here's another place.
Because it's not typical. I said the entire Middle East. So if I... Okay, so look, here...
Okay.
Oh, come on, Bill. You think you're being cool, but you're not.
If I say, you have to move somewhere in America, and I'm going to throw a dart at a map with a blindfold on, and could you survive anywhere else in America where that dart? You absolutely could. You could live in Salt Lake City.
Wait for it.
America. If I throw a dart at a map of the entire, all 60 Muslim majority countries, will you say you'll live there?
I could survive in every single one of them.
You couldn't.
How no?
Wow. But wait till you hear Bill's reason for saying that.
Can I not? I'm not a gay guy. Like, I'm not, I could live in any single one of them.
You're in Kabul, your wife would have to wear a head-to-toe burqa every...
That's on her.
Okay.
You're talking about me surviving. You're like, I could live very comfortably in every single country. Like, again, let's not move the goalposts.
Look, I get it. Freedom, individual rights, dressing however you want. That all makes sense. But culture, tradition, and belief systems matter too. You can't just wokeify everything and expect it to override centuries of deeply rooted customs and label the areas unlivable.
Live comfortably.
You could live with yourself knowing that that's how women are treated.
Really, Bill? That's your take? Thankfully, Andrew Schultz had the perfect clapback.
I hate this moral argument, like we give a f about women around the world. Like, no, but this is like...
Yeah, you said you'd be happy.
This is such a bullshit argument. I could live easily in every single one of the countries outside of the wars that are existing. But you're saying in peacetime?
Easily?
Easily.
Really, Maher? Now you want to talk about women's rights after years of calling them out for playing the victim and accusing them of performative activism?
I could kick it in Kabul for a month easy. Enjoying life. Now, am I doing stand-up every night? No. But could I take a little vacation?
I don't know if you're kidding with me.
I'm just telling you, it's, I think it...
I'll give you two options. Either you're kidding or this is stupid.
Well, that's this pretentious ass.
Part woke, part anti-woke, occasionally ignorant, but every now and then, he makes a valid point. Other times, not so much. Yeah, that's Bill Maher for you. Alright, if you like this video, you're going to love the next one. So go ahead and click right here to watch.